Timmins-James Bay. This is great. Order. These types of interruptions do take away time, and I'd hate to have to make that up further down the list. The honourable member for Timmins-James Bay has the floor.
Mr. Speaker, while the member for York Centre was launching a full-out assault on the independence of the offices of the Ethics and Lobbying Commissioner, he was using his presence on the Finance Committee to fill his electoral war chest by hitting up lobbyists who were trying to influence him. You can't do that. Section 14(1) of the Conflict of Interest Code is clear. You can't accept financial gifts in the form of tickets to fundraisers from lobbyists when they knock on your door. So this member was paid by lobbyists for the petroleum, financial, and car industries. Did he recuse himself from any of the meetings in the Finance Committee that dealt with these interests?
Again, Mr. Speaker, this is the government that brought in the Federal Accountability Act as one of our first measures, which removed the influence of big unions and corporate donations from the political process, Mr. Speaker. Something we're very proud of. Of course, we do expect that all members of the House of Commons will have events and host events and follow the rules, Mr. Speaker. At the same time, we know that the NDP accepted $350,000 worth of illegal campaign donations through their big union friends, Mr. Speaker. It's also ironic to hear this member talk about ethics when it was he who was singled out by the Boundary Redistribution Commission as trying to gerrymander his riding, Mr. Speaker. So I think he should think about that, Mr. Speaker, and encourage his friends to repay the 1.1.
Honourable member for Timmins-James Bay.
Oh, God, Mr. Speaker, watching this government stand up for ethics is like watching a wrestling promoter standing up for good, clean, honest fun. I mean, we know what the oil lobby bought when the government gave them Northern Gateway, so let's look at what the member for York Centre's tickets bought for these lobbyists. Access to the government House Leader, the Minister of Democratic Reform, access to the Minister of International Development. So question of the government House Leader who attended this event, does he stand behind these kind of secret deals with lobbyists? Does he stand behind that?
Yep.
Again, Mr. Speaker, as I just mentioned, it was this government that brought in the Federal Accountability Act, Mr. Speaker, to remove the influence of big money and big unions from the political process, Mr. Speaker. And as I said, we expect that all members will follow the rules when hosting fundraisers and other activities, Mr. Speaker. But we do know, of course, that the member from Welland, Pierre Fondelaire, Gatineau, Rosemont, Le Petit Patrie, Hochelaga, Dartmouth, Cole Harbour, St. John, South Mount Pearl, Chambly, Sherbrooke, Nickelbelt, St. Lambert, Halifax, Abitibi, Temiskaming, Outremont, Vaudreuil, Laval, Scarborough, Rouge River, Toronto, Danforth, Gaspésie are amongst those NDP who owe the taxpayers more than $1.17 million.